If I could have everyone's attention, we're going to start our formal induction ceremony now. Eric. Our first inductee this afternoon is Jen Bryan Grana. Jen was a 4-year member of the Bloomsburg Huskies women's basketball program from 1999 to 2003, and during that span, the Huskies made 4 trips to the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference tournament and went to the regional finals of the NCAA tournament in 2001. During her time in the Maroon and Gold, Jen helped lead the Huskies to a 4-year record of 77-34 and a 35-11 record in conference play. Jen is a 3-time PSAC All-East honoree and was the 2002 PSAC East Player of the Year. She also earned All-America honors from the Women's Division II Bulletin and was named the Joanne McComb Underclass Female Athlete of the Year for Bloomsburg following that 2001-02 season. Jen finished her career with 1,116 points and still holds the Bloomsburg record for free throws made and attempted. She is 16th all-time in points, 7th in rebounds, and 14th in steals. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2009 inductee into the Bloomsburg Hall of Fame, Jen Bryan. Camera, cut. What? What?
I'll just speak next, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is for you. I can hold this for you.
Thanks.
And I can hold this for you.
Awesome.
Just don't touch the microphone.
Okay.
Yep.
I was told not to touch the microphone, so I won't touch the microphone. I was saying earlier, I wish I would have taken some public speaking classes at Bloom before having to speak in public here. But first, it's nice to see everybody again. Thank you to the university, to the selection committee. It's really nice to be here this weekend. It's been really special so far. When I first found out about this award, I called my family, of course, and then called my brother, who played basketball at Bloom after I did, and I said, well, what should we do for the weekend? We haven't been up here in a while. And I said, should we go to Russell's or Harry's or Sal's? And he's like, no, none of them are there. And I thought, oh my gosh, are you making fun of how old I am or how long ago I graduated? But it was unfortunate I haven't been here in a while, so it was really nice to come back. Went downtown, looked at some of the new restaurants we'll have to go to here in the future. And I am feeling old because real soon it'll be my kids coming on college tours. So it did make me feel a little old, but once again, really glad I'm here. It gave me the time to kind of reflect on my 4 years at Bloomsburg, and even going back to being a high school athlete, and how that impacted my life moving forward. My husband, my 4 kids, that you realize you don't ever accomplish anything alone. That a lot of these awards and accolades are because of family, friends, those things. Practicing in a very steep, slanted driveway as a kid, probably why I never shot any threes while I was there. But those hours do mean something, but a lot of times it's your parents not letting you quit when you want to, or when you think about quitting, or when your dad says, hey, don't be surprised when you don't make the 7th grade team. Thanks, Dad. But I made the 7th grade team, which was good. So I made my 7th grade team. So thanks to all those folks. Great deal of credit to the coaches, the coaching staff, team managers that gave you the experiences, resiliency, perseverance through 4 years of a lot of fun, a lot of memories. It didn't go unnoticed. And then, obviously to the teammates, because without my teammates who filled their role, I couldn't fill mine. So they did a wonderful job helping me get here. So thank you to them, my coaches, my family, my kids who are not here, but my husband's recording so they can make fun of me later. And once again, thanks to all you. It's been a pleasure being up here, and I hope to be here again soon. So thank you very much.
Our next honoree today is Christine Krebs McGinty. Christine was a standout on the soccer pitch for the Bloomsburg women's soccer team during her 4 seasons and helped the Huskies to a PSAC championship, 3 appearances in the PSAC tournament, and a trip to the NCAA quarterfinals, one of 2 trips to the NCAA tournament. In her career, Christine is still second on the all-time scoring list for 59 points, just one shy of fellow Hall of Famer Aaliyah Balthazar. She is 6th all-time in career assists with 18 and 2nd in career points with 136. Christine is still 5th all-time in the PSAC in single-season goals, 10th in single-season points, and tied for 8th in career goals and 11th in career points. She earned all PSAC first-team honors in both 1999 and 2000, and all PSAC second-team honors in 1998. She was a 3-time All-Region selection by the National Soccer Coaches Association of America and earned NSCAA first-team All-America honors in 2000 and second-team All-American honors in 1999. Ladies and gentlemen, our 2010 inductee into the Bloomsburg Hall of Fame, Christine Krebs McGinty. I just leave the microphone alone, I guess.
All right. Good afternoon. This is amazing, having everyone here, my family and all my friends. I have to say, at work every day I lead a ton of meetings, but you put me up here and totally different ball game. Hands are shaking, the heart's a little racing. But so I won't lie and say I didn't worry about getting up here and giving a speech. As my friends and family would attest to, I'm much more comfortable observing and listening to others rather than being up here in a spotlight. It's hard to comprehend that my Bloomsburg days started 27 years ago. Yes, girls, I am mom's old. How has that much time passed? I thought about what I wanted to say for many hours. How could I sum up my experience at Bloomsburg and where it's led me? I have to admit my memory is far from impeccable, so trying to pinpoint all these pivotal moments has been challenging. How it all started. Growing up in Vermont didn't necessarily provide numerous athletic opportunities for girls, but after my first middle school soccer game and a few goals, I was hooked. Come my senior year of high school, my dad creating VHS clips, yes, VHS, that we would send to schools, also I could get a chance to play college soccer. My mom attributes my godmother for finding Bloomsburg. She knew I was interested in studying nursing. I watched a lot of ER in high school, too much, and found Bloomsburg had a great program both in nursing and soccer. After my first year in the nursing program, I quickly learned it was not for me, and that I was much better suited working with computers. My mom and I took a long road trip down the East Coast touring campuses, one being Bloomsburg. The rest really is history. We met Coach Chucky and Sandy, and how awesome and welcoming they were. Sandy hollering Krebsy the first time I met her. My recruiting trip was epic for a 17-year-old. I knew that this was the team I wanted to be a part of. The final decision to come to Bloomsburg was difficult. I had the opportunity to play soccer at the University of Vermont, which I had dreamt about growing up. After delaying my acceptance, I decided to leave Vermont and head for Bloomsburg. I can't imagine it any other way. The best 4 years. My time at Bloomsburg was far from perfect, but those years were some of my best. Leaving home at 17 for college, 7 hours away, was a bit intimidating, but I quickly found a second home at Bloomsburg and a second family. Soccer brought such a feeling of success during my 4 years, not just because we won a lot of games and championships, but because it taught me how to become a better teammate, become a quiet leader, a better listener, a better person on and off the field, all prepping me for my future after college. Most importantly, though, my time at Bloomsburg blessed me with the greatest of friends I still cherish today. Pause, no tears. We can talk about it. Ladies, I love you more today. I got this. You are beautiful inside and out. To say I appreciate our time together is an understatement. I hope we continue to make our friendship a priority and make the effort to travel to see each other. All right, Coach Chucky, you are one of the kindest and most patient people. I'm grateful I had a year with you as our coach. Chucky's Army. Thank you for having such a huge part in my decision to come to Bloomsburg. I love that you, Carol, and my parents quickly became great friends during my 4 years at Bloomsburg and continue the friendship today. I wanted to also remember our late coach, Sandy Dixon. You might notice there's postcards on each of your tables that have information about a scholarship created in Sandy's name here at Bloomsburg that is dedicated to helping future Husky athletes. Please consider contributing to this fund. Sandy was an amazing human, coach, and mentor. I know we drove her crazy, but we had some great times on and off the pitch. She was deeply dedicated to our team. We miss her dearly. To my beautiful girls, I love you, and I'm so proud of each of you. I cannot wait to see where your future takes you. You have endless opportunities that so many generations before you did not. Being a girl in sports can be one of the most empowering and life-shaping opportunities you will have. You will learn some of your greatest life lessons. You will meet some of your best friends. You will stay grounded and learn how to balance all that life throws at you. Maybe even someday you'll meet your future spouse because of athletics. Your dad and I met and became friends through our love for sports. Athletics can be a bench for so many things in life. My sisters, Kat and Jess, I love you. Thank you so much for making the trek to Bloomsburg. I know your lives are very busy. I don't say it enough, but your friendship and support mean the world to me. All right, my parents, the Kredsies. Thank you, my biggest supporters. I can't thank you enough for all the time you spent driving me to tournaments and following me to college games. Whew. And more importantly, remind me of the importance of academics and the balance between it all. I probably took it for granted at the time. Of course, my parents were coming to all my games, even if they were driving 7 hours to come see me, and then 7 hours back. They couldn't sit with each other while they watched. My dad paced the sidelines. He probably should have been a ball boy. My mom dug a hole in the hill while nervously watching. I get it now that I'm a parent. There's nothing better than seeing your kids feel confident and gain success at something in their life they're passionate about. Thank you. All right, lastly, I want to thank Bloomsburg, of course. What a special place I fell upon. I'm truly honored to receive a place in the Athletic Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Our next inductee this afternoon is Pete Ranella. Pete was a standout grappler for the Bloomsburg wrestling program during a dominant time in the program's history. Ranella was a 3-time NCAA tournament qualifier and was an NCAA Division I All-American in 1994. During his 4-year career, he collected an 80, 33, and 1 overall individual record and led the Huskies to a 30, 35, and 3 dual meet record. The Huskies went 10-5 during his sophomore season in 1992 and finished first at the Eastern Wrestling League tournament. The 118-pound wrestler, enjoyed an All-American season during his junior year. Pete took third at the EWL tournament and was an NCAA tournament qualifier for the second straight season. He finished 8th at 118 pounds to earn All-America status and was the 15th individual NCAA Division I All-American for the Huskies. That year, Pete was a member of the U.S. wrestling team that competed at the World Grand Prix in Germany. During his career, Pete was a 4-time Bloomsburg Invitational Wrestling Tournament champion, a 3-time Lehigh Sheridan Invitational Wrestling Tournament runner-up, and finished as the runner-up at the Midland Wrestling Tournament his sophomore season. He was inducted into the EWL Hall of Fame in 2004. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2011 inductee into the Bloomsburg Hall of Fame, Pete Ranella. This is also for you. Okay, thank you.
I hope I can talk through this and you can hear me right now. I'm a little short here, but we'll do our best. So I'd like to start out by thanking the Bloomsburg University Athletic Department for a great weekend. Not only for this ceremony, but for all the activities that we had over the weekend. It was wonderful. I'd like to thank my family, my friends, my coaches, and the entire Bloomsburg wrestling family for coming out to support me today. I'm humbled and honored to receive this recognition, and just as other people have spoke, I understand that it was a community effort. I didn't do this by myself. There were so many people behind the scenes supporting me and pushing me the entire time. What I'd like to share with my time is how special Bloomsburg wrestling was in the late 80s and early 90s. It was an amazing time to wrestle and to be at Bloomsburg University. The best way to share how great Bloomsburg wrestling was is to talk about my recruiting journey here. I grew up in Lock Haven, so as you know, not a very friendly place when we talk about wrestling when you're from Bloomsburg. Lock Haven is known as Matttown, USA, for a good reason. There's a long list of national champions, All-Americans, and Olympic team members that went through Lock Haven. The community is very strong and loves wrestling like you would not believe. Packed areas, packed field houses anytime there's a wrestling event going on. So from the time I was very young, every coach I had was a Lock Haven University wrestler. That's all I knew. From my elementary coaches to my middle school coaches to my high school coaches, all were Lock Haven University wrestlers. So growing up, I was going to wrestle for Lock Haven University. There's no two ways about it. The coach at Lock Haven University, his name was Neil Turner, a father figure to me. I wrestled with the children growing up, and my sophomore year in high school, I finished third in the state, and it was kind of deemed that I could compete at Division I level, and I verbally committed and said, that's where I'm going to be, coach. I'm going to wrestle for you. I love you. I care about you. That's where I want to be. And that was the plan until the end of my regular season, my senior year. And at that time, Coach Turner, for reasons outside of his own ability, lost his job as a head coach. So at that time, there was a large stack of recruiting letters there, and it was time things got real. I had to decide, where am I going to go now? My plan to be a Lock Haven University wrestler had went away. What do I want to do with my life? So I real quickly started going through that list and narrowed down my choices of where I wanted to be, and it came down to 4 schools: University of Minnesota, University of Chapel Hill, North Carolina, Syracuse, and Bloomsburg University. Again, reflecting and knowing that my community is what got me there, and if I wanted to be successful, I had to continue doing those same things. I came up with a check sheet of things that were really, really important to me, that I knew if I followed these things and these programs had those aspects, I could be successful. The first one was connection with supportive mentors. When I was in high school, I had 2 men who were like big brothers to me. They were there for me no matter what happened. They were so close to me, they were actually my wedding when I got married. As I talked to these coaches, one person stood out that made a connection with me, Coach Poff. As I spoke to him, there was an immediate connection. I knew that relationships mattered to him. I knew that he put everything first with getting to know people and supporting them as athletes. So over the time from my end of season through my postseason, Coach Poff and I became very, very close. And he put that hook in, letting me know how important Bloomsburg was and how there was a family aspect here. The second thing was having great wrestling coaches. My high school wrestling coach was in the Hall of Fame, probably the best technician I had ever seen in my life, a man by the name of Doug Buckwalter. Looking at Bloomsburg's coaches, we had Hall of Fame coach Roger Sanders. We had Tom Martucci, who is probably the toughest man I've ever met in my life, an NCAA champion. We had Zeke Jones, who at that time was a world team member, a great person to work out with, someone I could depend on. The next thing that I knew was really important was a tradition of excellence. When I won my state championship, I was the 25th state champion in Lock Haven history. We look at the line at Bloomsburg University, it's littered with All-Americans, national champions. When I opened up the magazine when I was in high school, there was Ricky Bonomo on the cover, a 3-time NCAA champion. And I knew that he wrestled my weight class, and if he could do it there, I could do it there also. So great inspiration. Was wrestling embraced in that area? When I was in high school, every match we packed the gills, people on the floor. When you come to a Bloomsburg match at that time, we wrestled West Virginia, we wrestled Pitt, Penn State, LHU, or some other traditional power, that field house was always packed. I knew there was a great deal of support. And then teammates. From the time I grew up and I had 2 other individuals that won states with me. We knew that we could push each other. The year that I came to Bloomsburg, we were actually one of the top 5 recruiting classes in Division I that year. I had a great teammate in Brad Rosansky, who was also an All-American with me, and by banging heads and pushing ourselves, we reached the goals that we wanted to achieve. And lastly, a rigorous schedule. We wrestled Midlands tournament at Northwestern University, the Virginia Duels Conference tournaments. At that time, on a regular basis, I'd be competing against national champions, against All-Americans, against world team members, sometimes coming out on top, sometimes just getting good lessons to prepare me for the end of the year. So Bloomsburg University was an ideal place to wrestle. As Coach Poff said recently in a social media post, you don't take away the buildings, the facilities when you leave a college, you take away the relationships and the memories. I was very fortunate to go to Bloomsburg University and build those relationships and those memories. I lead and I continue to build as we go forward. So I'm very honored to be part of a special time in Bloomsburg University wrestling. I'm very encouraged right now by the hiring of Coach Sussman and the efforts by our booster club to build that tradition back. And I look forward to what the future brings. I'd like to close by thanking again the athletic department and say again, I feel very fortunate to take away so many great memories and friendships from Bloomsburg University. Thank you so much. Yeah, it must be in here.
Our next inductee this afternoon is Vanessa Sterner-Holstein. Vanessa was a 4-year standout for the Huskies in softball from 1998 to 2001, and during that stretch, Bloomsburg captured a Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference championship and 4 straight appearances in the NCAA tournament. During her time in the Maroon and Gold, Vanessa led the Huskies to a 4-year record of 174, 38, and 1, and an NCAA 3rd and 4th place finish to go with that PSAC championship. Vanessa was a 4-time All-PSAC East first team selection at third base and a 2-time National Fast Pitch Coaches Association All-American with first team honors in 2001 and a second team selection in 2000. She was named to the NCAA Mid-Atlantic Regional All-Tournament team following the 2000 and 2001 tournaments. The third baseman still holds the Bloomsburg single season record for RBIs with 68 and is tied for 3rd in the PSAC. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2012 inductee into the Bloomsburg Hall of Fame, Vanessa Sterner-Holstein.
Let's get my phone up and running here. Okay. 1 minute, you're 20, hitting home runs and setting records. And the next, you're 45 in Sam's Club. Staring at the 3-pack of non-prescription cheaters. Thank you to the athletic department, everyone involved in the Hall of Fame selection process, and congratulations to all the other inductees. I feel so incredibly honored for this nomination, and it's not lost on me how special it is to be in this prestigious group of just over 200. Thank you to my wife and kids for coming along with me this weekend. We live in Iowa, and it was the first time we flew with all 4, and it was about as exciting as you would imagine that would be. I also, many of you know me by Sterner. I do have an actual second last name, Holstein, and I have to make sure I note that I have been a Holstein for 12 years today, as it is my 12th wedding anniversary. So, thank you for hanging out and having a meal here instead of just being at home with the kids, having a meal at home. We don't get out much. I was a townie. I grew up in Bloomsburg. I played baseball until I was probably 9 or 10 years old, until there was an actual softball league for me to play in. But I honestly think that helped me give me that drive to succeed from the get-go playing with the boys. I played softball at Bloomsburg High School. I played for Coach Sue Peters, who I think ultimately let me do whatever I wanted to do, like steal home or bunt whenever, or regardless of what sign she gave me, I think I just did whatever I wanted. But I think ultimately they gave me a lot of confidence in my playing ability and allowed me to become a leader to others. I wanted to note that Sue passed in 2023 from a battle of leukemia, and I sincerely hope she understood how positively she impacted so many young women's lives. From there, I did my college coaches a solid by not having to go far to recruit me. At one point, you could actually see the house that I grew up in from upper campus. Thank you to my former legendary coaches, who all of you probably know are in this very Hall of Fame, and I am very honored to have my name on the same list as theirs. I wouldn't even be standing here if you hadn't given me the opportunity all those years ago. I remember my first week of practice my freshman year thinking I had just learned more about softball in that 1 week than I had my entire athletic career to that point. It was overwhelming, but in a very good and positive way. You both cultivated such a fun and positive atmosphere, one that allowed us to learn and grow simply because you believed in us to do so. I remember feeling like I didn't want to let you down, but not in a bad way, just in a way that you truly made me want to always give you my best. It was truly something special to be a part of. Thank you for believing in me, pushing me, giving the support, and teaching me about confidence. The both of you are such amazing leaders, and I consider myself very lucky to have spent those 4 years with you. Thank you to my former BU teammates. I don't really remember much about the records or the accolades, but I do remember the rally hats and the superstitions. I remember the post-game celebrations and all the house parties, the book club meetings. All of the book club meetings we had that we did homework and we read books and stuff. It's a lot of book reading in college. I want to specifically acknowledge and thank my former teammate Erica Miller, who came in as a freshman with me. She's not here today, but those 4 years with her are some of the greatest memories that I've had from that time. And in my opinion, she is the GOAT of BU softball. She was inducted in 2014. To my parents, thank you doesn't quite cut it. They rarely missed a game. I'm talking from when I played baseball at 6 to college softball at 21. From spring break trips to away games to postseason travel, they always came. Their support was unwavering, even when I was such a punk after a bad game and didn't want to talk much. I don't think I totally understood how lucky I was to have them until I was much older, but I certainly did after having my own kids. It's really too long of a list to thank you for everything, but thank you for everything. I really appreciate this honor today. It feels like another lifetime ago I was here as a student athlete. It feels a little surreal to receive such an honor for something that I just truly loved to do. And I did it with some of the best people I've ever had a chance to meet. That time in my life taught me grit, determination, how to handle heartbreak, how to handle success. And what motivated and drove me to become successful then still holds true today, and I only can hope to inspire and instill those qualities in my children and allow them to become successful in whatever they choose to do. And lastly, just if anyone knows me and who have seen me actually play, if you could just tell my kids that I do know what I'm talking about when I try to give them lessons. So thank you so much.
I'm just going to give these ladies a minute. You're not allowed to leave. Our final inductee this afternoon is Nikki Hartraft. I told her I wasn't going to do this, but I have the mic and she can't stop me. My job comes with a lot of perks, and I think the greatest one is having the honor of inducting someone who has truly become an extremely close friend of mine over the last 5 years into the Hall of Fame, and I couldn't be prouder. Nikki was a 4-year standout for the Bloomsburg field hockey team during a highly successful stretch in program history from 2000 to 2003. The Huskies compiled a 73-8 overall record during that time, including a perfect 21-0 season, culminating in an NCAA championship. Hartranft led the Huskies to 2 NCAA championships, 2002 and 2003, and 3 Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference appearances and 2 championships. Individually, Nikki was a 2-time first-team National Field Hockey Coaches Association first-team All-American and a second-team NFHCA All-American in 2001. She was a 3-time PSAC first-team All-Conference selection during her sophomore through senior seasons. She is one of only 13 players in Bloomsburg's storied history having at least 100 points in her career. She finished her time in the Maroon and Gold with 114 points, with 45 goals and 24 assists. Nikki took over as the Bloomsburg head coach in 2010 and is now in her 15th season at the helm. She has guided the Huskies, currently fourth-ranked Huskies, to a 164-96 overall record, 2 PSAC championships, 2 NCAA tournament appearances, and 9 PSAC tournament appearances, 10 hopefully in a few weeks. She's a 3-time PSAC Coach of the Year, most recently last season, and currently has Bloomsburg rolling with an 11-3 overall record this season. Ladies and gentlemen, our 213th inductee into the Bloomsburg Hall of Fame, and my very good friend, Nikki Hartranft.
As if it wasn't going to be hard enough, and then I got 31 ladies who walk in. I just told them yesterday I needed their back, and you got mine right now, ladies. Thank you for being here. Krebs, I'm going to try not to cry too. JB, you did not throw up here. I might. Good afternoon. Thank you, Mary, and thank you to the Hall of Fame committee for this incredible honor. Congratulations to all of the inductees entering the Hall of Fame today. I've been blessed as a coach now to attend Hall of Fame each year, and I can tell you that this honor is one no one takes for granted. The prestigious student athletes that have come before us have deserved this honor as well, and there will be many others following in our footsteps. It's pretty incredible to be a Husky. 24 years ago, Patrick, you have enough pictures. 24 years ago, ladies, yes, 24 years ago, I was a high school 3-sport athlete whose true love was basketball. My dream was to go to play for Pat Summitt at the University of Tennessee. Yet, my high school team probably only won 8 games in my entire career. Interestingly enough, Pat never did make it to my small country town of Ole Valley to watch me play hoops. Instead, I was blessed to be coached by those that could be called the Pat Summits of field hockey. My high school field hockey coach was also my 6th grade teacher, the only person who ever gave me a demerit, and a family friend who was literally there to help my family through some extremely rough times. The good news is she was not only an incredible person, but she was also the winningest field hockey coach in Berks County with over 400 wins, and she still is to this day, although she's not coaching anymore, so she can't get any more. She taught her teams that the fundamentals were important. She taught us all how to compete. She did not like to lose, and she mentored us, prepared us, and guided us for our college futures, and she did not care what division we played for. Donna Long, thank you for being here today. Thank you for the memories, and thank you and your sister, Deb Long, who is also in the Hall of Fame as well, for field hockey and softball here at Bloomsburg, for supporting my dreams to become a Husky. The next Pat Summit of field hockey happens to also be the Pat Summit of softball and the GOAT of Bloomsburg University. Jan Hutchinson, thank you for pushing me to be the best attacker I could be for 3 years, and then suddenly telling me I was too slow my senior year and I would now be center back. Also, Sterner, we could have been college teammates as well, but when I approached Coach to see if I could play both sports, she kindly said no. That's not a good idea. I want you to focus on field hockey. Plus, Erica Miller was short stuff at the time, so I knew I would never be able to compete with that. I will tell you that age has mellowed Jan. She does have a heart. And truth be told, there are numerous student athletes, including those ladies back there, that wouldn't be where we are today in life if it wasn't for her. And I am absolutely one of those. I will never be able to thank you, Aunt Jan, for not only all you've done for me throughout my college days, even though we absolutely know you love softball more, but for mentoring and talking about field hockey more than anyone in this world wants to, and for saving me and believing in me that although I would never fill your shoes, that I will strive to give student athletes I coach at Bloomsburg the idea that family is everything, working hard is an absolute must, passion is part of the game, and yes, that losing sucks and winning never gets old. To my family, friends, the friends that are family who become incredible neighbors, college teammates, who some of them are also the best roommates you could ask for, the voice of Bloomsburg, you know who you are. Thank you for being here today and every day. I'm not an awards person, I never was, unless it was a team award. Winning games together, especially PSAC and NCAA championships, were literally some of the best moments of my life. Thank you for the endless memories, laughters, tears, and cheers. Let's be grateful that we actually have photos printed and we didn't have cell phones or videos. Anita, Allison, Frick, Kircher, you were literally the best assistant coaches anyone could ask for. Regardless if Frick thought then this 18-year-old could squat only half of what she was actually squatting, and still be able to walk the next day is one thing. But there's no doubt you believed in every one of us who strived to show you that we love this game as much as you do. You pushed us to be the best, and I am forever indebted to you. I know this honor into the Hall of Fame today is about my college days and success with my coaches and teammates back in the early 2000s, but I would be remiss to not thank my current colleagues who are here today. My assistant coach, who is like a little sister, the administration, and the support staff. I know sometimes we get lost in our own sports, our own wishes, wanting more and getting less. But together, we continue to work to put Bloomsburg on the top of the map where it belongs. I promise I'm almost done. It truly is a special place for every alumni who walked these hills, who played on our fields or courts, swam in the pool. It's our home. And I ask that you continue to share that with your student athletes. I know all of us together will never give up, and we will never quit. To my mom, my best friend, thank you for loving me and supporting me through every sport I played. You were my coach in my younger days, giving me the best advice anyone could. Nikki, someday your teams will win. Our Broncos team in Little League softball was terrible. Your endless love and support, your constant presence on the sidelines, or even knowing now you're watching on the big screen means the world to me. My father, who is and was my guy, is sitting in the best seat in the house watching from above. Dad, I miss you every day, still to this day. It never gets easier. You just learn to understand it a bit more. Do me a favor, please. Keep watching the Huskies and your bestie through her high school days. But damn, can you tell your Eagles to pick it up? Is it still tie? Kevin? Okay. Kaden Marie. 10-10, Eagles score. Go Birds, come on. Kaden Marie, you are not only my daughter, but you have become my inspiration. You are the strongest kid I know, so can you get your shit together? Life isn't always been easy for you with split parents and 2-hour car rides. But after you learned that stopping to use the bathroom always meant you got something at Sheetz, you suddenly stopped crying so much. You have become a high school student playing 3 sports at my high school alma mater, and no, you're not better than me yet, so keep working harder. You absolutely bleed maroon and gold, and since the day you were 3, you told me you'd be a Husky. Regardless if your future brings you here to Bloomsburg, or you spread your wings and fly elsewhere, wear that number 13 with pride. Always dream big, and don't forget this place will always be your home. Thank you again for this incredible honor. To all of those in the Hall of Fame, past, present, and today, I will cherish now that we will be teammates for life. Go Huskies. Thank you, thank you. Ladies, on three, all the way blue. 1, 2, 3.
One of the hardest secrets I've had to keep is you ladies showing up, so thank you for coming. So that concludes the 42nd Annual Hall of Fame induction ceremony. I want to say once again, congratulations to our 5 inductees this evening, or this afternoon, the past inductees who are back here with us. Thank you for coming back and continuing to support our Huskies. I hope everyone had a wonderful time this afternoon. Please feel free to stay, share stories, and be with your team and family and teammates and friends. Thank you for coming, and have a great afternoon.